Thragg, the most human Viltrumite. Video by Contestinated James. Let's get into this video.
The universe is strange. In a way, you've become our savior. Willing or not.
Like you gave him a choice. By the way, let me just not spoil. I'm gonna try to not spoil as far as the video is now. I'm probably gonna spoil as the video goes on. I'm gonna say I'm spoiling now, or maybe spoiler alert or something, but as of now, I'm gonna try to not spoil it for you.
Sometimes a man has to admit when he was wrong, and that's the position I find myself in today. 2 weeks ago, I said that Invincible Season 4 was decent. Okay,
Not knowing it was about to be peak.
but nothing special.
Peak,
Since
nigga.
Season 2, I haven't been too hot on the show, and largely considered it to be overrated. And while I enjoyed aspects of the first half of Invincible Season 4, I was convinced that this season would follow the trajectory of the past two for me. At times fun, but ultimately just okay. Then, he showed up.
Mr. Aura Farmer himself. Mr. Crispiest hairline in the galaxy.
Thragg's performance in episodes 7 and 8 of Invincible Season 4 completely and utterly captivated me. Not just because he is incredibly menacing, but because underneath the aura farming and impact frames, he is a legitimate complex character.
Oh, well, I guess, spoiler alert, the video is gonna spoil for me, you feel me? So, all barriers off, I'm spoiling from now
That
on.
poses fascinating moral dilemmas for both Mark and the viewer to think on. We meet Thragg in episode 6, and he really did just seem like whatever.
No!
He underestimates the coalition of planets and loses his ship and
That's how he said no, by the way. He sounded like a kid, and people are clowning him for that. But, like, I kind of feel like he's justified in it. Even Brock Lesnar screams funny, you feel me? And he's a really big, dangerous dude, you feel me? Brock Lesnar from WWE.
Argoyle's skull in the process, which led the majority of the Invincible fanbase to call him a fraud, to make fun of his voice and design, and so on and so forth.
Bruh, Brock Lesnar sounds funny when he's screaming. Let's not talk about what Mike Tyson sounds like, you feel me? Let's not talk about what Mike Tyson sounds like, you feel me? So...
But then in episode 7, when the coalition brings the fight to him, we have the rug pulled out from under us, when we realize that this guy is no longer playing around. Truly, the coalition is no match for Thragg. They are throwing everything they have at him, and he is absolutely immovable. Which makes you wonder why he doesn't just kill everyone himself the moment they enter Viltrum's atmosphere.
He did say that himself. The death of any Viltrumite leaves a void in me.
He's so overpowered that him not killing everyone immediately would have been a writing issue if his characterization wasn't superb. Thragg's first order of business when the coalition arrives is to separate Omni-Man from the rest of the group and have a conversation with him, which is fascinating because...
Yeah, bro, Thragg is a really reasonable dude. He's like, bro, I just want to talk, you feel me? After kicking the shit out of him, like after punching the shit out of him, he's like, I just want to talk, you feel me?
Almost every Viltrumite we've interacted with up until this point has been fight first and talk later, if you get the chance. But when Thragg addresses Nolan, he opts to speak to him first and fight him after. And the craziest part about all of this is even after knowing Omni-Man has betrayed them, after knowing he's spilt Viltrumite blood, Thragg offers Nolan a second chance. He tells him,
Come home, Nolan. Come home, and all will be forgiven.
A really reasonable request, you feel me? He's like, bro, let's just stop the fighting and we'll put this shit under the rug, you feel me? Like we'll deal with it later. the same way you swipe shit under the rug. Yeah, you're gonna deal with that like later on, you feel me? As of now, it's like, just come home, bro. You feel me? Really reasonable dude, by the
Thragg
way.
offers Nolan redemption, the very thing that he's been craving from the people of Earth. Thragg raises his voice only once at Nolan during this
Mm-hmm.
conversation, but other than that, he's very level-headed when speaking with an old friend. He makes it
Mm-hmm.
clear to Nolan and to us that what he does, the Viltrumite way of life itself, is something he genuinely believes in. And regardless of my personal disagreements with Thragg's philosophy, it's fascinating to engage with someone who's the biggest, baddest guy in the galaxy.
By the way, it's kind of like, is Thragg really a bad guy, or is he just like following what he sees as right? It's kind of the same thing as, oh man, how could I forget the name Thanos? Yeah, it's kind of like Thanos. He doesn't really see himself as like, I'm a bad guy, I'm a villain trying to do bad things. He's like, I'm doing what's best for everyone in my eyes. That's what he's doing.
And yet find him reasoning with our protagonists, debating morality, and even offering second chances. Prior to meeting and getting to know Thragg,
Crispy hairline. Crispy as hairline.
I was under the assumption that he was just a stronger version of someone like Anissa or Conquest. But it turns out what makes Thragg so terrifying isn't that he's a one-note killing machine that doesn't think twice about the atrocities he commits, but his humanity. During the flashbacks, we see Thetis disagreeing with Argoyle's methods, and while Thragg does side with his mentor, he still respects Thetis as a leader, and more importantly, as a Viltrumite. He gives Thetis the time of day, and even vouches for him as an old friend.
His weakness harms the Empire. Take
By the way, they said this dude Argyl's voice is Megatron from Transformers. If you don't know that, then I don't know where you're from, you feel me? But like, yeah, they say Argyl voice actor is Megatron voice actor.
As an old friend.
his weakness harms the Empire. Take action.
Perhaps I am mistaken.
That's what they expected Thragg to sound like. And Thragg is pretty much a dude who's like, I kind of prefer like hearing things out and talking things out. And this dude, he's like, if you see something's wrong, do something about it. And by do something about it, he means punch the problem away. That's what he means.
And because of that, his mentor, Argoyle, the man he looks up to, is killed, betrayed by the very man that Thragg let slip through his fingers. His solution to this weakness is to purge Viltrum of all of its weakness, ensuring that a tragedy such as this one never happens again. And yet again, I find myself in a position where I disagree with his methods, but I see where he is coming from. And during the Purge, where men like Conquest revel in the bloodshed, Thragg simply sits inside, depressed and frustrated at what he has to do. Invincible found a way to make me ponder the existence and feel a tad bit of sympathy for a man who's responsible for the deaths of billions. And that, in and of itself, is an accomplishment worthy of praise.
I kind of feel like maybe he is sort of responsible for the death of billions, but Thetis killed almost everyone on that planet, bro, and left like only a handful. You feel me? He left less than 100. I'm not sure if it was like about 50 at the time of like just after the Great Purge. No, it wasn't the Purge. The Scourge virus. Yeah, after the Scourge virus, he left about 50 of them. You feel me? And somehow Thragg is the bad guy. I'm not saying he's the good guy, but I'm saying he's the bad guy for killing maybe like half of the population as opposed to 99.999% of the population. Bruh.
But Thragg's development doesn't end there. In fact, it's only just beginning. During the fight with Mark, Oliver, and Nolan, the characteristics we already have for Thragg shine through based off of how he responds to each individual. With Oliver, he shrugs him aside and puts him on death's door, because in his words,
On death's door, nigga. Bruh, if Oliver wasn't rescued, he literally would have just like no longer be alive at all. If he wasn't rescued and taken into like a conservation or preservation pod. But other than that, bruh, this dude was dead. Like, bruh, he was no longer living. He had no life left in him at all, bruh. He gave him the meanest backhand that could have ever been given to anyone in the history of backhands, bruh. He's almost a pimp named Slickback with those backhands, the way he was dishing them out, bruh.
he isn't one of them. With Mark, it's different. When Mark declares that he killed Conquest, Thragg says, "Show me," and allows him to strike him. Thragg recognizes the potential in Mark.
Oh yeah, and he did block with his hairline. His crisp, smooth hairline.
And allows him to take a fair shot at him. This level of respect for an opponent is honorable, and makes the Space Mustache Man even more nuanced. In Thragg's
Mustache Man. We all know who the Mustache Man is, right?
emotional complexity is further explored after Viltrum is destroyed. Once the planet is gone, we see a bunch of Viltrumites react. We see Lucan, Anissa, and Thragg stare in shock, unable to process what has just happened. Shock with a hint of anger, but it's like they don't even have the ability to express any other emotion, because they don't.
Yeah, bro. All they know is punch, punch really hard, and punch even harder. That's the emotion they know how to express, bro. But like sadness, actual emotions like concern, that's not within their vocabulary.
They were raised for one thing: conquest, and any shred of emotion was stripped from them. So when faced with the destruction of their home, they are unable to know how to feel. But Thragg cries. The leader of the Viltrumites sheds tears for his now destroyed home.
That's why the title says the most human Viltrumite.
He has the most emotional range out of all of them, which is fascinating. You would think the leader of
The only other pretty human Viltrumites that I can think of are actually the ones that are actually from Earth, because they're at a place where people have actual emotions and actually express their emotions. But even then, bruh, Omni-Man was still barely a human, you feel me? So this dude, I don't know where he's from to actually be able to express emotions other than just like punch really hard and punch
the
harder.
Viltrumites, the strongest of them all, the man who can control gods, would be the coldest of them as well, a man without emotion. But no, the leader of Viltrum showcases the most humanity out of all of them, which is why he ultimately decides to spare Mark and Nolan. After twisting the betrayer's head off like a bottle cap, he hunts down Mark and Nolan, and is genuinely disappointed by what he is about to do. He even remarks to Mark, before squeezing him, that what he is about to do is a waste. When he told
He just gave Mark
Nolan earlier this episode that any Viltrumite death pains him, he meant it. His face reads as someone genuinely upset by what he's about to do. But then, right as he's about to squeeze Mark, he looks past his anger, looks past his rage, sees Viltrum destroyed in the background, with all of the billions of Viltrumites floating around in space, and realizes that killing Mark won't change anything at all. All it will do is bring his people closer to extinction. So he spares him. The betrayer had to go because he was hell-bent on killing the entire race. But
This is the only Viltrumite Thragg killed, by the way. You feel me? It's because like he was actually a threat to even the remaining Viltrumites, because he still had the Scourge virus, which he would have used to kill the remaining Viltrumites, because that virus, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like a type of kryptonite that actually just kills you, not really gives you a chance to live, you feel me, for Viltrumites.
Regardless of Thragg's personal differences with Mark, Mark is still a Viltrumite. He's still one of them, one of Thragg's people. So he lets him live. And in one episode, Thragg cements himself as my favorite character in Invincible. And yet, there's more. Thragg has one final scene in Invincible Season 4, and it's a scene that frankly blew me away. In the final moments of Episode 9, Mark runs into Thragg as he gazes at the
Crispy hairline. Crispy. Smooth, crispy hairline.
sunset. And instead of fighting, Thragg de-escalates the situation and just asks to talk. He explains the situation they have found.
Yeah, bro, in this scene, Thragg could have just been like, you know, this kid thinks he can actually throw hands. Let me show him he's not really about that life. You feel me? Let me show him what that life actually is. He could have, like, bro, Mark would have been so no longer alive. It's crazy.
Themselves
bro.
in. He tells Mark that his sole goal as Grand Regent is to ensure the continuation of his species. He states that it hasn't been easy, that he's had to make a lot of hard choices, and that while he is personally furious with Mark and Earth, he recognizes that if the Viltrumites don't assimilate, his race, his people, will die out. So he tells Mark his plan. Instead of taking over Earth through conquest, he has sent his people to live among humanity and evolve alongside them. He's ordered them not to be violent and not to influence the people of Earth with Viltrumite culture. All he asks is to breed and disappear into...
Yeah, he's like, hey, nigga, hear me out. We came here for cheeks. We do not want war. We came here for cheeks. Earth, women, cheeks. Bro, honestly speaking, bro, like, actually, women can actually save the whole world. As you can see, they did that here, bro. You feel me? Women are the strongest human beings ever created to ever live, bro. Ever. You feel me? They can resolve wars. You feel me? Bro, women can solve so many problems in the world, bro. Honestly, just women, bro. Even aliens are like, hey, bro, hear me out. We're not here for war. We're here for women cheeks. That's why I think women, bro, they can solve any war, bro. Any type of war can be resolved by women. Not women cheeks, but like I'm saying, women actually have the ability to stop wars. You feel me? So think about that, bro. Next time you hear gender wars, just be like, no. This is stupid. You feel me? Women women can stop wars. Men can start wars, but women can stop wars. You feel me? So
their life, so the Viltrumite species can continue. And while he doesn't even really have to ask Mark for permission, he does it anyways.
He was like, hey bro, we're here to smash cheeks. I'm letting you know, like, can we smash cheeks? We are gonna smash cheeks regardless, but like, I'm just letting you know.
He recognizes Mark's importance in this and understands that having him agree to these terms will benefit his people long term. And in a strange way, I believe he actually respects Mark for standing against him. Now, he still does hold Earth hostage with this deal. Don't get it twisted. Thragg is by no means a good man, and this video is not meant to be a complete defense of all of his actions.
Yeah, bro, I'm not saying he's a good guy, but I'm also saying, like, is he really a bad guy? Maybe he is, but is he like a terrible, all the way bad, completely unredeemable bad guy? Who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. But like, he's also decent enough to be like, look, we can let you live for the price of women cheeks. You feel me? Like that. Cheeks. That's all we want. Cheeks.
He is just simply complicated, nuanced, and dare I say, human. Thragg ends this season off with a philosophical question about the universe.
The universe is strange. In a way, you've become our savior.
Leaving the viewer with a profound sense of wonder and begs the question, what does it mean to be human? Thragg to me was the best part of this season, and probably the best part of this entire show, and because of him, alongside some stellar development from other members of the cast, for the first time in years, I can confidently say that I am a fan of Invincible and cannot wait for the next season.
Nobody can wait for the next season, actually. So, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please, I was just kidding about the cheek stopping walls thing. It's possible that that can happen, but it's like entertainment purposes only. You feel me? If like you're actually taking it seriously to that extent, entertainment purposes only. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.